Hello, everyone. I am back, Benny Adams here, and I am so excited because I have the one and only Miss Trishelle. Trishelle, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. It's an honor to talk to you. You know, I've watched you since the real world. I've watched all of your appearances on the challenge, and now I'm so excited to talk to you about the Challenge All Stars episode 3.
Yeah.
Let's just get right into it. So episode 3, it started off with the huge win from why am I blanking on her name? Um 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 wow, Kendall.
Kendall. Yeah.
Wow. And I had her on my show last week. Duh, Benny. But yeah, so we she comes off a huge win. Everyone's excited. And I really want to talk about Nehemiah and Jimmy because I really like this alliance slash romance that's going on with them. And I wanted to know your thoughts about the two.
I'm jealous. I love Nehemiah. I think he's the cutest guy. Always thought he was the cutest guy in the challenge house. If I wasn't married, I would definitely want to make out with him too. So I understand why Jimmy did. Yeah, I think that Nehemiah was definitely a good choice for Jimmy because he is such a strong player and he's not a loudmouth like some of the guys in the house. And he was also flying under the radar a lot in the beginning too. There were just a lot more people there. I think that was more of a target. And then, like Nehemiah said, with Jimmy, she could teach him a lot because game-wise, I mean, he's not, like he said, he's not a social player. He's really not. He's just a nice guy. He kind of lays back and chills. Jimmy gets right in there. And so I think that it's a good pairing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love these two together. And like you said, Jimmy has something that Nehemiah doesn't have. Nehemiah has something that Jimmy doesn't have. And I like the whole romance that's going on. I like it. And
it's so adorable.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. And they make such a cute couple. They make a cute
so.
couple. I also want to talk about Beth and Jimmy. And this was a friendship that surprised me like no other. And I don't know why. And I love it though. I love their friendship. But I would have never imagined that Jimmy and Beth would be so close, aka Madonna and Britney Spears.
That was hilarious.
Did you see this pairing? Did you see this pairing happening? Or was this just out of left field?
It was out of left field because of the huge fact that Veronica is good friends with Jimmy and Veronica and Beth do not get along. And like Tina and Veronica are good friends. Tina had punched Beth in the face. I mean, I didn't think that Jimmy at all would be this close to Beth. So it was pretty surprising to me. If I was there, I'd just been like, what in the hell's going on with these two? Like I left before that happened. But yeah, I kind of get it. Beth is a really great villain for the show. She's one of the best. And so I do like that side of her. So I think it's always, it could be a benefit to your game if you side with someone like that because she is a strong player. But also if someone's going to try to pick off one of the two of you, it's probably going to be Beth because she's not very likable. Jimmy is.
Right. Yeah. What was Beth like while you were in the house? Did she still have that villainous role that she was playing, or was she more tamed?
No, she's a villain. Yes, she was like that in the house too. She was always trying to stir the pot, and Jimmy does too, but Jimmy does it in a more cool way. Beth is just really, you're just you don't want to say anything within earshot of Beth because it's going to blow up in your face later. She will go tell someone else. It's kind of crazy. But I do like to watch her on television. I love watching her. So, I mean, I might not want to pair up with her in a game, but I think she's great for the television, for the show.
She's great TV. I was so excited to see her back. Let's talk about this challenge. It was such an iconic challenge from, I want to say it was Battle of the Sexes.
It was Battle of the Sexes too. Yep.
Yeah, and so I loved that one where they had to melt the ice using their bodies, and this is why I like All Stars because you guys will do whatever it takes. You guys just weren't rubbing against the ice. They were spitting on it. They were using all their bodily fluids.
Yeah.
What did you think about that challenge? And how would you have, if you were there, how would you have competed and tried to win that challenge?
I thought it was a smart thing. Like I saw Katie actually doing it with her, because she has longer hair, taking your hair and getting it wet and like wringing it out on the ice and spitting on it, because your hair takes up a lot of water. And so that's actually a smart thing that she did. So I probably would have went that route. I mean, Kellyanne, as her skinny ass was just working it so hard. She was like twerking on it. I mean, I was dying watching her. She was hilarious. I don't think that I could have like generated enough heat with my butt like Kellyanne did. That's just a talent reserved for her. But like, I'm glad that I actually missed out on that one, because
Really?
I hate cold. You saw me in the first episode. I recoil in anything cold, like the water. I couldn't do it. So like I would have been probably awful at it, and I probably would have went in too again.
Right. And so after like they melted the ice, they had to, you know, put all of the challenge seasons in order from 1 to 36, I think. Do you think you would have been able to do that? Because I was thinking, I'm like, right, exactly. Because like I'm a huge fan of the challenge, but I couldn't even do that.
No, and it's so funny because again, Katie, the only two challenges that she knew for sure was the gauntlet and the Inferno, and I knew those too because we had both did it together. So that would have been my same only contributing like piece of information throughout that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, Nehemiah, I can't believe he drew a blank too. God, that killed me because I know that he was smart and studying. So yeah, I hated that.
I was shocked when I found out that Nehemiah's team was the last team to win. Then I was also shocked when Tech called out Nehemiah, and I'd never seen this side of Nehemiah before, but he like went all out. And he was like, "What's up, bro? What's up? I got you."
He was like, pissed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen him like that either. It was interesting to watch. But here's the thing. Tech should have known better, because all it takes in the beginning of the challenge is one tiny reason for everyone to jump on the bandwagon and say your name. And so like Tech, like, you know, Kendall's tiny reason that she got put into elimination was her misstep during the challenge on that apparatus that we were hanging from. So everyone was like easily to say her name. Tech, whenever he piped up, that was a reason for everyone to say his name, even though they didn't have to, he volunteered. But yeah, that's just the thing. In the middle toward the end of the challenges, you automatically have people that you don't like and people that you do like. And like enough time has passed in the house to where you have your cliques that you're going to stay with and you're going to vote for people. But in the beginning, it's better to just completely try to keep the peace so that people don't say your name.
Right, exactly. No, I completely agree. And I wanted to, with the next question I have kind of goes back to episode 2 with your elimination against Kendall. Yeah. So when it comes to Nehemiah, I felt like Nehemiah had his pick on who he, well, no, actually Tech voted himself in, but I still think if Nehemiah picked Tech, wanted Tech, everyone would have gone with Tech. And so I want to go back to your episode. Do you think if you would have said, oh, I want this person or I want that person, they would have gone with that person? Or did you want to go against Kendall?
That's a very good question that I have not spoken about very much because it's after the episode. I did pick someone. And the crazy thing is Nehemiah had the lifesaver at that point, and I actually talked to him about it. So, okay, I wanted to go against Beth. That was the only name that I said. And I was just like, you know, what about Beth? And Mark Long was like, no, I don't think that she would be a good pick. And Big Easy was like, I don't think she'd be a good pick. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks. Like, I kind of wanted her. But when I saw that people kind of didn't want to put her against me, I was just like, well, I don't want to like push it too hard because I don't want to make anybody mad. And at that point, I was just like, y'all can vote for anyone. Like, it doesn't matter. Because you never know what the elimination is going to be. So it's like, you don't know. I mean, if it was a puzzle, I might have had a good chance against Beth. If it's like a pole wrestling, then she would have killed me. You just don't know. So, anyway, yeah, Kendall was definitely one of the harder matches. I kind of wish that it hadn't gone against her. But so yeah, I asked Nehemiah, I said, you have the lifesaver. If I want to pick Beth, if I want Beth, will you pull Kendall out of the elimination? And he was like, oh, Trishelle, do you really? He's like, I really want to keep, I don't want to have to say someone else's name. And I was like, okay, well, fine. I saw his reaction and I really like Nehemiah. So I was just like, forget it. I'm not going to like push this issue, because you're right. Whenever you have the lifesaver, you use it. You're just pissing off another person. So I just wanted to run it by him.
That's insane. That's crazy. I'm so glad you spoke about that. So now, we know what happened. We know that you lost against Kendall. If you could go back and do it again, would you push harder to go against Beth, or would you just do it the same way?
I would have pushed harder to go against Beth. I think if it was Beth and I in that elimination, not so fast, I would have won. Kendall was the worst person to go against in that, because the girl does yoga like 8 hours a day. She is endurance queen. And this particular elimination is it's endurance. Like it really is. And it's about agility, which Kendall could probably put both legs behind her head. I mean, she's super agile and super flexible, and she's so tiny, she could crawl in between the holes of the rope. So, that was her game to win, really.
It was a good elimination, I have to say, between both of you. So I give huge props. We were talking about the lifesaver earlier. And so in episode 3, Kendall, she has the opportunity to save someone from elimination and replace it and give it to someone else. But we really don't know the power of the lifesaver. And bless Kendall's heart, I love Kendall like no other. She is on this power trip and I love it. I love it. And she's making all the guys scared, and it's amazing. But so we get to elimination and she doesn't use the lifesaver to throw in easy. Yeah, and so Tech is still in there against Nehemiah. Do you think Kendall should have used that lifesaver?
Yes. I was screaming at the television. I was like, Kendall, use it. What I wanted Kendall to do, this would have been such a sick power move. She just didn't say a word the entire time. And then last minute, just used the lifesaver and threw Easy's ass in there. I would have been like, yes, because I love Tech. And like, to be honest, I don't really like Big Easy that much. He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not fun to be in a house with. So yeah, I would have cared more if Tech stayed.
That's crazy, because I've heard things about him, like when he was doing earlier challenges. So it was still kind of the same once you guys all came back in the challenge house?
Yeah, he also, like, I felt like he was kind of rude to the girls a little bit. And maybe it's because he has a significant other back home. I don't know what it is. I really don't understand that game. But I felt like he was a little bit rude to some of the girls. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, all the guys were so kind to us and so nice. And it was great. And I just kind of I didn't love that. But, I mean, it's not like I guess I just don't care for him. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's a fair answer.
I don't have to like everybody. Like, okay.
Right, exactly. That's a very fair answer. So it's Nehemiah against Tech. Who are you rooting for? Because that was really hard for me. Like, I like both of them. And I was telling Kendall when I talked to her, it's so hard for me to root for people. Like when you were going against Kendall, I'm like, I like both of them because I have not seen them in forever. So who are you rooting for in that situation?
That's tough because, God, I almost wanted to cry whenever I saw them both gearing up to right whenever they're about to start running to climb the things. Cause I was like, both of them they bring so much to the show and so much energy, and just like, they're hilarious. I think that if I had to pick one, I was going to root for Nehemiah, because he and I have had like a lot more deep conversations. Like, I talked to him a lot in the house. I talked to him talked his ear off, poor thing, for like hours one night. And Yeah, so I think he's just such a sweet guy, but Tech is so good for humor. He gives the best one-liners on the show. So I miss him now. Like it was sad to see him go.
Yeah, that was great. And I also wanted to ask you, so before they actually started the elimination, TJ gave them this, I don't even remember what the pepper was called, but it was one of the hottest peppers ever.
It was like a Carolina ghost
Reaper or something.
Reaper. Oh yeah. Carolina Reaper. That's what it was.
Right. And so this made me think, it took me back down memory lane of one of your eliminations where you had to eat a bunch of peppers.
Yeah.
Did you, when you saw that, did you instantly think of that? And were you like, oh my gosh, like I can so do this because I've done this before?
Not to be crass, but my first thought was, wow, they have a night ahead of them. Like it doesn't end. It just lasts for hours. It's terrible. So yeah, I was having a little bit of like PTSD when I saw that, because Holly and I, it was the Inferno actually. We were in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And they had these peppers from Mexico, and they went from like milder to hotter, but they started out pretty hot. And I think I got maybe like 3 in. And then I started my eyes were crying and I was sweating. And then I took my fingers to wipe my eyes that had pepper juice all over. Like it was bad. I was blind. I was like, it was just a mess. So when I saw the guys doing it, I felt really bad for them.
Yeah. I want to take it back a little bit because I forgot to mention this. I wanted to talk about Ruthie and Aneesa because I had no idea that there was this rivalship between them. I completely forgot about, that season where Ruthie got sent home early. What did you think about that whole moment between the two? Because that was pretty intense.
Something had happened. Something was said. Probably not on camera because they didn't show it, but something was said in the beginning of the challenge. I don't know if it was on the airplane ride there or where it was, but that Ruthie came to me and she's like, Aneesa is gunning for me. And I was like, oh, baby, you're being paranoid. Like, what are you talking about? The game hasn't even started. Like, we didn't even move the house yet. Like, no. And she was just like, yeah, she's like, I'm telling you, she's gunning for me. I heard her saying that. And I was just like, I don't know. I'm thinking that it was a misunderstanding because Aneesa had never expressed to me that she didn't like Ruthie. Like she never said that. And I shared a room with her and I didn't hear that. And so I tried to tell Ruthie like, hey, relax. Like it's not that serious. But I guess that she was still holding on to all this mess that they had, in their prior show. And poor Aneesa, she got it so bad because it's like Aneesa's done so many shows that clearly the more shows you do, the more drama you have with people. And so she had like a conversation with Ruthie about it. I had a conversation with her. It actually was my fault, not hers. And then she had a conversation with Beth about a prior show they did. And I was like, can't this girl just like enjoy a glass of wine like by herself for a minute? She had it like funny. The whole time.
That's great. Yeah, it blew my mind that that happened. But I love the drama. The drama is amazing. So Nehemiah and Tech, they go at it. Nehemiah wins. Were you surprised that Nehemiah beat Tech?
No. At first I was just like, oh, Nehemiah has this. Like this is his game. But then I forget that. Again, you never know who's going to be good at what because, Tech is so long and tall. So this kind of actually, now that I think about it, this was his particular challenge to win because when he's hanging there, he could like hang on this thing and then punch a hole through something that's so far away. So it was so close. And my husband was watching it with me. God bless him. He loves the show so much. He was just like, oh my God, Tech was so close. He was like, if he hadn't puked from that pepper in the beginning, Tech would have won. Because the timing, whenever Tech went right after Nehemiah to the circle, whenever they were done, it was the same amount of time or shorter than in the beginning. Tech threw up before he got to start.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you remember that because we were around it as true fans do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's crazy. Yeah, so I was, like I said, I was bummed to see Tech leave, but I was excited to have Nehemiah stay because,
Yeah.
who doesn't love Nehemiah? And so that was the
And
end.
the showmance. So now we
The
have a
show,
showman.
of
Yeah.
course, the showmance, and I hope we see more of that. Well, I think we will see more of that from the trailer I saw, because there was some stuff in the trailer that I saw with Nehemiah and Jimmy that we haven't seen yet. So hopefully we'll see that soon. But
Yeah.
I wanted to talk more about you, and I wanted to talk about your episode on episode 2 and the big elephant in the room between you and Katie, and the fight that you guys had. A lot of people are still confused about how it started, why it started. So I was wondering if you could shed a little bit of light on
Okay.
that fight between you two.
Okay. I do understand why it was so confusing. A lot of people, even my friends who I had told them what happened, watched the show and they were like, but wait, why did y'all fight again? I'm like, I told you. So basically, Katie and I used to live together. We have a huge past. Obviously, that was shown on there.
Mm-hmm.
I felt personally in our friendship for a very, very long time that I had, kind of taken care of her, like had her back with a lot of things. And I don't know. I kind of felt like the friendship was a little one-sided, which is okay because I wanted to, because I love Katie very much. She was like a sister to me. And so, and then when I never really asked her for much, although she did do a really big solid for me when I moved from Los Angeles. I lived with her for like a couple, like 3 weeks or something. But she, I just kind of wanted her to like have my back fully, no questions asked on the challenge, right? Like I thought that was sort of like a given. And I think that my expectations were just way too high because I forget these are competition shows and whatever. For me, I was like, there's no competition that could ever get in between me and a friend that I thought was so close to me. Right. And so to me, it was like, no question, ride or die. Like literally there's nothing, not one single thing that would make me ever say her name, like nothing like that. So I was shocked when I felt like she wasn't really giving me much. Like she was kind of just, I think she was really trying to play the game. And when I saw her interviews and she was just like, I play the social game, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. So she really wanted that money. Not that, I wouldn't want it. It's just that you can't put a price tag on my good friendships to me. Right. But I felt like she did.
When do you think this all started? Did it all start after the deliberation when Katie didn't immediately come up to you to tell you who you were going against, or was it before that?
No, it was before. I kind of felt it whenever we were quarantining before we even started filming the show. We had a week of quarantine. I was like kind of spiraling and I like needed a friend, and I was nervous in another country quarantining. I have anxiety, like severe anxiety, and I needed like a friend, and I felt like she kind of wasn't really being there. She really cared about being social to people that she was just meeting. And maybe I sound a little bit needy saying that, but like, I don't care. Like if one of my friends needs me, if they're telling me like, hey, I'm having like severe anxiety, I will drop literally everything for my friend. That's just who I am. I expected her to be different. She's not like that anymore. So, or maybe she never was. I don't know. But so anyway, that was kind of building up. Then we were fine. Then whenever I was in elimination, whenever I fell first and I knew that I was going in, I kind of expected that my friend would come up to me and be like, hey, let's go through one by one, all the girls in the house. What's your strength? What's their weakness? Like, who do you want to go against? Like, and then whenever we were all talking about it outside, she was literally just standing there like this, like not saying anything. I was like, okay, like, why aren't you saying anything? Like, whatever. Then whenever someone had to speak for me for deliberation, I don't think they showed this. Jimmy spoke for me for deliberation. Katie didn't speak for me. And I think she really wanted to be cool with the entire house. And instead of being my friend and like being there for me, she didn't want to have to pick a side. Well, sometimes you need to pick a side. You know what I mean? Like, and that is why I am a freaking good friend, because I will be that person who's a bitch. I will be that person who picks a side, and I will ride for you. And she is just not that kind of person. And we haven't talked. I don't think we will talk. I am completely fine with it. And one thing that the pandemic has shown me is who my true friends are. And I don't have any room in my life for anybody who doesn't feel the same way that I do. So there you have it.
That's just so crazy for me to hear, because like I remember back in like the early 2000s, I would see like paparazzi photos of you both in like LA, and I'm like, and now we fast forward to now, and this has happened. So yeah, like you said, it's crazy what would happen if you could say, if Katie was here right now and you could say anything to Katie right now, what would you say to her?
I wish you well.
I like that. I like that very much. Very classy, Trishelle. Very classy.
Yeah. This is actually the most that I've ever talked about it, by the way. Like, you must be doing something to me today. But yeah, I have chosen not to really comment that much because I don't want to, like, you know, and I don't think I said anything hurtful. This is just my take on it. She has her own take. I saw that she was kind of tweeting, trying to defend herself. That's fine. I'm not going to, you know, I don't need to defend myself. This is just how I feel. So take it or leave it. I don't care.
Well, you are definitely missed on All Stars, Trishelle. Like I said, I was so bummed to see you go because I've been wanting to see you back on the challenge. So the big money question: would you come back if you got the call to be on if there is a season 2 of All Stars?
I thought, like, right after elimination, I was just like, oh, I wouldn't do this again. And then it took me only a few days and I was like, oh, I miss some of these people. That's weird. And then watching it, I'm having like severe FOMO. I'm like, I should be there. So honestly, if it's the same or a similar format, I might do it again. I wouldn't do a regular challenge. Like I'm done being called old. Like I'm sick of that. I can call myself old. Nobody else can. I don't like the young kids. They're too mean. And so, which is crazy because we can be mean too, but they are just above and beyond. I probably would do another one. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely work out more. I have an exercise bike upstairs that I'm going to start using soon.
Oh, very nice. I need to get one of those. So who's one person that wasn't on this season of All Stars, an OG that you would have loved to be on this season?
I'll give you two. I'll give you a guy and a girl.
Okay.
Girl wise, a Coral. Just because
oh my gosh,
she's just iconic. Like I love Coral. And honestly, I don't even know if Coral likes me. I never know if Coral likes me. That's the beauty of it, because it's like you always have to be on your toes with that one. So I just really like her for television. I think she would have brought a very cool dynamic to it. And then for guys, I'm going to say Tim Beggy from Road Rules way back in the day. You don't remember him? He was good. He was just really funny. Yeah, I just think he was hilarious. I really liked him a lot. Or Adam Larson. Those are two Road Rulers that I liked. Adam was actually on Hacella's season.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's really cool.
Yes, so that would have been
very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, Trishelle, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was amazing. I still can't believe I'm talking to the one and only Trishelle right now. So thank you so much.
This was so much fun.
This was a lot of fun. Like, definitely, you're more than welcome to come on whenever you want to. Any final words to your adoring fans?
Maybe you guys will see me back. Who knows? I don't know, what capacity it'll be, but if you want to follow me on Instagram at Trishelle C and on Twitter at Trishelle C, I'm going to be better about like actually talking more about the show because I am so into the challenge. Like I think it needs to be 2 hours instead of 45 minutes in my opinion, because it's so good. But so I'll be better at talking about that a little bit more, and that's it.
Very, very nice. And last question, like, what are you working on right now? Are you working on anything special or? No,
right now I'm actually working on the house that we just moved into.
Hey, that is a very good thing to work on.
We just moved into a new house. When I got back from the challenge, my husband's like, I put our house for sale. And I was like, wait, what? I thought we were waiting a little bit for this. So yeah, it's been crazy since I got home.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Trishelle. It's
Thank
been
you.
fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another recap of the Challenge All-Stars. I'll see you guys next time. See you later.